This is your USMNT Abroad midweek update from February 28th to March 3rd of 2022. Hi, if you're new here, I'm Filippo and welcome to Tactical TV. And again, a channel favorite, the USMNT Abroad series, where every Monday we update you on how the Yanks did abroad over the weekend, and every Friday or Thursday we update you on how the Yanks did abroad over the midweek. Now, as always, the midweek episode is much shorter than the weekend episode, as there's many more players playing over the weekend. Couple announcements before we start this video. I will be this weekend on the Charlotte FC versus LA Galaxy match with over 70,000 people at Charlotte, North Carolina. It'll be the first home game in Charlotte FC history, and I'll be doing a vlog for that video as well. Dustin will be editing it over the weekend, and we'll release it next week. Hopefully you guys enjoy the vlog. The goal of the vlog is to show US soccer fans and US sports fans the experience of a soccer match, an exciting soccer match. So if this can play a little bit of a role of helping the sport grow in this country, that's what we're going to do. So expect the vlog to be out next week of Charlotte FC's first home game in their history of MLS. We will also be releasing next week the interview with the Busio brothers, Matteo Busio and Gianluca Busio. Matteo Busio is a scout for Venezia, and Gianluca Busio, well, you guys know, he is a player for Venezia and for the US men's national team. But I'm talking too much. Let's go right to the updates. We're going to start with the transfer rumors / updates, and then we're going to go to the performance. So let's play the intro and start the episode. Wait. I completely forgot this. This is the YouTube thing that I have to do, right? Like, share, and subscribe before we start the video. All right, now let's play the intro. Okay, before we go to performances, let's start with the transfer updates. And the first one is Mihailovic is linked to Leeds United, now with Jesse Marsch in charge. Now, I do think Mihailovic is ready for bigger challenges than MLS. The English Premier League, in my opinion, might be too much. I think the Eredivisie, the Dutch League, Belgium, Austria, maybe Salzburg could be a great move. Plus, maybe, if he's going to move to a top 5 league, a less physical league like La Liga or Serie A, as he does thrive on more technique and vision rather than his physicality. Remember, lately with all these transfers abroad from Americans, what we have learned is that the right move is much more important than a big move. I think Brenden Aaronson is one of the best examples out of all of them. The other transfer / rumor, or actually this one's official, John Brooks will be leaving Wolfsburg as a free agent over the summer. He's not going to renew his contract. He can go to any club for free. My guess is he'll stay in Germany. We did talk about it in the Unsackable podcast. You guys can check it out, Unsackable podcast that we have with Manuel Veth, Adrian from Ramon TV, and JGD TV as well. We talked about the possibility of maybe Bayern Munich signing John Brooks for free. Right, he would be a backup, but they do need to sign center backs, and the possibility is real. Now, that is not a rumor. That's just us speculating. Let us know in the comment section down below. Where do you think John Brooks will go now that he can go for free? Will he go to MLS? I don't think so. Okay, now we're off to the performance updates, and we're going to start with Christian Pulisic from Chelsea. On Wednesday, Pulisic started off on the bench and came in at the 61st minute for Chelsea during their 3-2 win over Luton Town in the FA Cup. Pulisic came in for Kennedy when Chelsea was down 2-1 and needed a comeback to avoid a major upset, and Pulisic played as a right winger for this match. Pulisic was not involved in any of Chelsea's goals, and he did not do anything meaningful that I can remember across the 29 minutes he played. So not much to talk about here. Not a bad performance, just I can't remember anything actually happening worth talking about. Now, one big thing to say is Chelsea will have a new owner soon. Abramovich will sell Chelsea. How will that affect the club or Pulisic? Who knows? It's a wait and see kind of moment. It could have no effect. It could have some major implications. Next up is Tyler Adams from RB Leipzig. On Wednesday, Tyler Adams stayed on the bench the full 90 minutes for Leipzig during their 4-0 win over Hannover 96 in the DFB Pokal. Sure, it's bad that he got no minutes, but this was the quarterfinals. Leipzig are now in the semifinals of the DFB Pokal with Freiburg, Union Berlin, and Hamburg. So no Bayern and no Borussia Dortmund. Leipzig are the heavy favorites, even though we should not underestimate Union Berlin and Freiburg, as they have been having a fantastic Bundesliga season. Regardless, Leipzig are the favorites, and Tyler Adams could finish the season with at least one trophy. I do also have them as one of the favorites to win the Europa League. Which, by the way, in the Europa League, they already advanced from the next round, as they were originally going to face Spartak Moscow, the Russian club, that also got banned from the Europa League. So RB Leipzig has automatically advanced to the Europa League quarterfinals, and I do have them as one of my favorites, so they could even win 2 trophies this season. Next up is Yunus Musah from Valencia. On Wednesday, Yunus Musah started off on the bench and came in at the 71st minute for Valencia during their 1-0 win over Atletico Bilbao in the Copa del Rey. Valencia won 2-1 on aggregate and advanced to the Copa del Rey final. Valencia won the Copa del Rey back in the 2018-2019 season, and they look to achieve it once again. At the time of this recording, the other semi-final has not taken place yet, and they will have Rayo face Real Betis, which honestly it's most likely going to be Real Betis, but this could age very poorly, what I just said. Musah came into this match as a left winger, did manage to get 1 key pass, but not much to talk about here in regards to performance, and Valencia were not much in possession as well. For the last few matches, Bordalás has been playing Yunus Musah mostly wide as a wingback or a winger. I personally would like to see him more centrally, right? I like the role he plays for the US men's national team as an 8. Regardless, his minutes have been great the past month or two. That is something to be happy about, especially when a player is just 19. Next is Pfuck from BSC Young Boys in Switzerland. On Tuesday, Pfuck started and played 61 minutes for BSC Young Boys during their 1-0 loss to Servette. The past few games, Pfuck has cooled off. And we're going to talk about Josh Sargent very soon. The Berhalter was in the game against Liverpool. I think we won't see Pfuck in the March camp. And if he is not in the hot form that he was before, the hot hand he had before, I don't think he should be there. Like I said, I don't rate him very much. But if he goes back to scoring the way he was 2-3 weeks ago, bring in Pfuck because we need to play the hot hand. We got 3 games left and we need goals. Next up is Brenden Aaronson from RB Salzburg. On Wednesday, Brenden Aaronson started and went the full 90 minutes for Salzburg during their 0-0 draw with LASK in the Austrian Bundesliga. Now, I was not able to watch this game, but based off reports and the stats, it did not look like Brenden or Salzburg had a good game. But take this with a grain of salt. Brenden for this one had 42 touches, 61% passing accuracy, won only 3 out of 15 ground duels, won just 1 out of 7 aerial duels, while losing possession 20 times, which is almost half the times he had the ball. So, take it with a grain of salt, but it looks like this was a rare, poor performance from Brenden. Next on the list is James Sands from Rangers in Scotland. On Wednesday, James Sands stayed on the bench the full 90 minutes for Rangers during their 1-0 win over St Johnstone in the Scottish Premiership. Now, what was weird about this game was that Rangers had no subs, 0 subs. They didn't sub out any player, which I honestly don't remember the last time I've watched a soccer match where no subs happened. By no subs, I mean just Rangers, right? Their opponent did make subs. I've never seen one team go a full 90 minutes with 0 subs. Since James Sands has arrived, he has been available for 9 Scottish Premiership matches. The first game, he played a full 90 minutes. The second, he played 59 minutes. Now, the past 7 matches, he has gotten 0 minutes total. He is on a loan. I said this in the last episode. So far, it has not looked good, but it's an 18-month loan, so there's enough time for him to turn it around. Otherwise, he will be back in New York next year. So let's stay in Scotland and talk about a player that has been very successful this season in Scotland. That is Cameron Carter-Vickers from Celtic. On Wednesday, CCV started and went the full 90 minutes for Celtic during their 2-0 win over St Mirren in the Scottish Premiership. Now, CCV was solid once again, helping Celtic get a clean sheet. He also scored their first goal for this match. Now, for this game, Cameron Carter-Vickers had 3 clearances, won 2 out of 4 ground duels, won 3 out of 4 aerial duels. Now, the impressive part is that he had 148 touches and an 87% passing accuracy. Because Celtic dominates most games in Scotland, CCV has been very busy on the ball, which in the past he has been pretty poor, so it seems like it's a part of his game that he has been improving. Now, I usually don't talk about Greg Berhalter in the USMNT Abroad series, and I probably shouldn't talk about Greg Berhalter very much in the USMNT Abroad series. But one thing that is crazy to me is Cameron Carter-Vickers has been in amazing form and probably the best center back in the Scottish Premiership for the past 6 months. When you look into the March camp, there's higher odds of us seeing Aaron Long, that's coming back from almost a 1-year absence from an Achilles injury, rather than having Cameron Carter-Vickers. It's crazy that he hasn't even gotten an opportunity throughout camp, and guys like Mark McKenzie that barely play in Belgium and have had poor performances for the US men's national team camp are still there. It's upsetting. I don't think we're going to see Cameron Carter-Vickers next camp, and maybe we won't see John Brooks either. So let me stop talking about Greg right here. Okay, next player on the list is Josh Sargent from Norwich. On Wednesday, Sargent started off the bench and came in at halftime for Norwich during their 2-1 loss to Liverpool in the FA Cup. Sargent came in as a right winger since Pfuck was still in the field. When Pfuck left, Sargent became a centre forward for the rest of the second half. Oh, one thing I should mention, and now I'm talking about Greg once again, but this is good. Greg Berhalter was attending the game to watch probably Liverpool and Norwich, obviously, but to scout most likely up close Josh Sargent, which means maybe we'll see Josh Sargent back in the March camp. As for his performance, there were moments where his touches were a bit off. The fight was there. The work rate was there. He did miss a pretty open header. As a center forward, you have to score those opportunities. There's no excuses. You got to convert those. But he did kind of make up for it with a very nice assist, which he drove middle with the ball with a very nice pass to Lucas Rupp to hit a beautiful long shot. Another assist for Josh Sargent against Liverpool this season. Now, for this game, Sargent had 20 touches, 55% passing accuracy, 1 key pass, won 2 out of 4 ground duels, 1 assist, won 3 out of 4 aerial duels, while also losing possession 8 times. It was not a perfect game, but again, it was against Liverpool. Sargent being back in the March camp is something that I fully support. He has not been bad the past few games. He won't come in and just be a goal scoring machine. That's not what he's going to do, but I do think he can contribute a lot in this next crucial camp. Yeah, trust me, I don't think Sargent's going to come in and bang goals and just be the savior for our 9 position, but I just think he can contribute a lot playing as a winger or playing as a center forward for us the next window. Next up is Matthew Hoppe and Jonathan Gomez. On Wednesday, Hoppe started off on the bench and came in at the 68th minute for Mallorca during their 2-0 loss to Real Sociedad. Hoppe played as a striker in a dual striker formation, but the big news of this game is that Jonathan Gomez made the bench for the A team for the first time, for Real Sociedad's A team. He was originally going to stay with Real Sociedad B till the end of the season, but clearly he has impressed enough to maybe become part of the A team for the rest of the season. We don't know. We have to keep an eye on him for the next few games. But again, the kid is talented, a dual national. We must not lose. Next up is Christian Ramirez from Aberdeen in Scotland. On Wednesday, Ramirez started and went the full 90 minutes for Aberdeen during their 2-0 loss to Hearts in the Scottish Premiership. Okay, still in Scotland, let's talk about Sebastian Soto and Ian Harkes. On Wednesday, Soto started off on the bench and came in at the 70th minute for Livingston during their 2-1 win over Dundee United. As for Dundee United, they had Ian Harkes starting and playing the full 90 minutes for them. Last but not least, a player I haven't talked about in a while, Haji Wright. On Tuesday, Haji Wright started off on the bench and came in at the 67th minute for Antalyaspor during their 2-0 loss to Trabzonspor in the Turkish Cup. Antalyaspor are now eliminated. Alright everyone, the good thing about these episodes is that they're a little bit shorter than the weekend ones, so I'm able to talk about a few players that I normally don't cover. Now I want to thank you all very much for watching. I want to thank you everyone that became a member of the channel here. Thank you for all the support. It really helps us a lot as we aim to go and upload more as we've been having lately. And also thank you everyone that purchased at the Tactical Manager TV store. Tactical Manager TV store, the link is on the description. Now I want to thank you all very much for watching. I'll see you guys on Monday and hopefully next week with the vlog. Thank you for watching everyone and have a great day.